Biotechnology, strictly speaking, really refers to products or applications that affect biological processes. So strictly speaking, biotechnology as we know it now in Australia has come to include a host of other companies which really relate to a term called life sciences. And this is a catch-all phrase which includes clinical stage biotechnology, true biotechnology companies, medical devices, pharmaceutical companies, and even agricultural sciences. So on that basis, what most people think of as biotech is not all the same type of company, no. This relates to what I just said about what constitutes a biotech company. Obviously, it's a function of stage of development, what area of science they're working in, how mature the company is. Typically, an early stage biotech company has a multitude of risks. These include clinical risks of trials failing, including proof of concept, funding risk, obviously funding the development from one stage to another. Regulatory risk is a huge risk, and this includes approval of design of clinical trials and approval of final compounds for marketing purposes. So, and on top of all these risks, of course, are the typical business risks of execution, distribution, competitive dynamics of the market they're operating in. So the risks are over and above greater than most companies. Well, the upside, again, it really depends on a number of factors. Typically, it depends on the business model of the biotech company. Are they looking to out-license early stage developments? What markets are they targeting in the final product? What appeal does that have to a potential out-licensing partner? The upside is really a function of what markets they're targeting and how close they are to that end product. Obviously, an early stage biotech will have less bargaining power when it comes to licensing or a royalty stream, so the upside is diminished. Many companies try and fund all the way through to late stage, which is quite a high risk strategy, but they're typically the ones that benefit from a higher royalty stream or greater bargaining power, subject to the markets they're targeting. So in biotech, or in the broader category of life sciences, we typically like companies with product-driven revenue that have got an R&D component which potentially adds upside. A classic example of a successful company in this space would have to be CSL. CSL is our largest healthcare company at around 44 billion market cap, and it's also the world's largest plasma fractionator. However, it has a very deep and late-stage R&D pipeline, which is a value driver. It's intellectual property, which will add value as these products come to market. Having said that, probably our preferred exposures in terms of discount to fair value at this point would have to be Mesoblast. Mesoblast is an undeniable leader in stem cell technology. It has 5 phase 3 clinical trials underway. Very important alliances with Celgene and Teva, which give it a huge advantage over a lot of smaller companies in the Australian context. Having said that, it is also a very high risk company. Despite it being phase 3, the limited evidence or scientific data surrounding stem cells, given its pioneer status, makes it a high-risk proposition for investors. So investors should be aware that the risks are high, but so is the potential. We've recently published a small report showcasing 3 companies under our coverage, namely Mesoblast, Certex and Acrux. Acrux and Certex, in contrast to Mesoblast, do have products on the market. Certex more so has an R&D component which in the near term could add significant value pending favourable results. So I would possibly urge investors to have a look at that report, to get more detail.